You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit in current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest and repeat offender on Ron Siegel Radio. I don't know if this is working or not. Josh is going to tell us here in just a minute. Not working. Okay, so it is a Monday morning, and obviously my soundboard does not want to cooperate. Travis Robinson is with us, Maxwell Agency. Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Glad to have you with us. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by. While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we are celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Josh, you still hearing me? Okay, you got me there, and let's see if we've got our wake-up call. Got the wake-up call even. Okay, let's see. I'm going to turn that down. Is that a little loud or what? Okay, so, we just got to get, it's called user error. So, that's the way it is. Let's take a look and see what we're going to celebrate today. Nice restaurant. I don't know if you've ever been. The Lighthouse? Been to the Lighthouse restaurant?
I have not.
Okay, it's a nice little restaurant right there on the peninsula, Balboa Peninsula. Today's National Lighthouse Day. It's also Sea Serpent Day. Having beaten anorexia, I like Raspberries and Cream Day. Okay, that's a good one. And as always, we are very, very grateful for the men and women who serve our country. Today is National Purple Heart Day. National Purple Heart Day. So thank you to the men and women who serve. And we celebrate all of those that have earned that Purple Heart. Let's take a look and see the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 359 points. S&P 500 is up 29. The NASDAQ's up 25. Oil's down 87 cents a barrel. It's a little bit helpful, but we're going to see what happens with that one. And gasoline prices. Do we even want to know what's going on with gasoline prices? I got to go after the broadcast today and get gas, so I'm not sure I want to see this. $5.07 in California. $5.07 a gallon is the national average for California. Almost got you by a buck, Josh. They're in Nevada, $4.33 a gallon, so gone up a little bit. Jody's at $3.90. Brittany's at $3.96. And our tremendous underwriter, Lori, $3.43 a gallon in Louisiana. $3.43 a gallon in Louisiana. Let's see what's going on in the world right now. Well, we've got yeah, most people want me to talk a little quieter, so it is a little loud. Okay, but I think we got some of our technical issues solved this morning. We're working on all of them. But let's see what's going on in the news today. We're watching, and we saw a interesting jobs report came out on Friday. Market doesn't want to talk about a lot about what's going on in really in the jobs report, because they came out and said, well, we gained all these jobs, but they didn't come out and really tell us most of the jobs that were gained were part-time jobs. And I don't know, I'm just surmising because of the way I look at the numbers, and my warped sense of humor. Well, you look at that and you say, okay, well, the jobs were all in the over 55 category. They're part-time jobs. So it just tells me that Walmart's hiring. I guess that's about it. Over 55 part-time. Okay, if we have to explain it, there might be a problem here. But the number of jobs gained is not real good. Maybe that's why the markets are moving the way they are. Now, I will share with you that good news today might turn into bad news by the end of the week, because I'm just forecasting the inflation numbers that we get toward the end of the week are not going to be very exciting, and it'll give the Federal Reserve cover to increase interest rates once again, increase that mortgage or bond rate. So we're watching all of these things for you. But what does it mean? What does it mean long term for you? Well, a lot of what that has to mean is that your home equity line of credit, interest rates going up. Your credit cards, interest rates going up. Student loans, they're already high. Autos, we're already seeing that we're getting a pullback in automobiles. In the Manheim report, shows used car prices starting to come back down a little bit, but will that be enough? That's going to be the question. I don't think so, because we've had like a 15 or 16% increase in gasoline prices. And that hits not the people. Well, I guess maybe it does hit the people with the electric vehicles too. Why? And why does it matter? Because the Federal Reserve looks at core PCE or core CPI. That takes out food and energy. But does it really take out food and energy? No. Have you gone and looked at what the cost of food is lately? So, yeah, gasoline prices, they take out food and energy, but you go and buy school supplies. Thankfully, I don't have to. Those prices are all up. Everything you want to buy, the prices are up. Heck, even look at movie tickets. I don't go to the movies, but movie ticket prices, everything you do, the prices are up. Why? Because gas prices have been going up for so long, it filters through the entire economy. So even though maybe one area doesn't hit, it hits all the other areas, and the Federal Reserve takes out food and energy. They also look at old data, because my feeling about the Federal Reserve.
Such an idiot.
Yeah. I get it. So you take that, the idiots there, they're looking at what happened in shelter, which is the biggest portion of these things, of PCE and CPI. They're looking at old data. They're looking at the data where prices were still going up. They've come back down. Well, now what's going to happen? We're going to go start looking the other way, because they're going to start seeing that the prices of food and the housing is coming down, shelter costs are coming down, and they're going to start going back up again. Why? Because we're watching. Home prices are still going up. No matter what anybody wants to tell you, CNBC, home prices are going up, Chapman, right? The prices are going up. Why? Because it's basic supply and demand. There's not enough houses for the people that want to buy them. Affordability, and I have this debate with folks all the time because they don't understand what house affordability is. Affordability has three components. It has wages, it has housing, and it has interest. Those are the three components of affordability. Wages are going up, not a lot, not enough to offset the fact that housing prices are going up and interest is going up. Have you noticed how much your bills are lately? That's why I've shared with you many, many times that you need to go and just get a free consultation. rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com. We take and put in your mortgage statement. We take and put in all of your bills. That would be your HELOCs, credit cards, student loans, autos, unsecured debt, all of that. And find out what your real interest rate is. It's not 2.5% or 3% if you've got other household debt. What is it? I don't know. But recently I've been seeing a lot that's in the mid sevens, and it continues to go up, all because of interest rates rising. A lot of the credit cards, they have a tie-in to what the prime rate is. Most of our home equity lines of credit, they tie into what prime rate is. Prime is generally 3 points above what the Fed funds rate is. or the 10-year treasury. You have the 10-year treasury, then that goes to Fed funds, and that goes to the prime rate. Prime rate then goes to your home equity lines of credit. Mortgage rates, well, the mortgage industry is worried. What are they worried about? Interest rates coming down too quickly. People refinancing too quickly. When they refinance, if they refinance too quickly, the mortgage companies don't have the opportunity of getting the fixed costs that they build into a mortgage recouped. So what do? They know that's happening and they know it's going to happen. What do? Well, they start charging more on the front end. That's why historically, we see a spread of 1.72 between the 10-year treasury and what a 30-year mortgage rate is. Right now, that's closer to 3%. That's called building it in on the front end. They don't want people to be refinancing too soon, or knowing that they will, they cover their costs early. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, we're going to chat. How about healthcare benefits? How about raising money for your nonprofit organization? 4 ways you can use your home equity. What are discount points? All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Homeowners over the age of 62 are taking back financial control after retirement with reverse mortgages, and the Siegel Lending Team is here to help you use it to your advantage. Call Ron Siegel with Geneva Financial to receive your free information booklet with no obligation. The booklet answers all your questions, and the best part is, you still own your home. Call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990 or visit ronsiegelradio.com.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, and every day at this time, OBMMI. They provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of anything in the mortgage industry. It's amazing the information that they get out there because they've got a 42% market share. Now, they tell us the rates that are locked. They don't tell us points paid, points received, APR, none of that stuff, just strictly the locked rates from what happened on Friday. And again, with 42% market share, they've got it covered. They've got it dialed in. And let's take a look and see what they told us from Friday. 30-year conforming rate, 7.014, up a little bit. 30-year jumbo rate, 7.229. That was up a lot. 30-year FHA loan, 6.813, down a bit. 30-year USDA, that's the rural areas, and generally no down payment. That was up 6.885, best loan on the market. It was down. Got to earn this one. It's a 30-year VA loan, 6.721. Let's see what's going on today. The 10-year Treasury is up 5 basis points, 4.097. The S&P 500 is up 29.5. Mortgage-backed securities are down 14 basis points. That means interest rates are going up a little bit today again, so we'll see what happens there. Why is all this happening? Well, it's followed through a little bit of a follow-through from the jobs report from last Friday. Markets kind of dissecting that. Start to get to this point in the summer. A lot of the traders end up leaving early on Fridays just because the end of summer, now historically it was all because, school went back right after Labor Day. Doesn't happen that way as much anymore, but market again, we're looking at inflation coming out later this week. The last reading for June showed that the headline inflation declined from 3.8 to 3%, while core inflation dropped from 5.3 to 4.8. That's for those people that don't need any food or energy. Market is expecting July headline inflation to increase by 0.2%, which is a modest monthly gain. However, since the July being replaced from 2022 is slightly negative reading, year-over-year inflation is anticipated to go up 3% to 3.3%. This is a big head fake from the market and is more about comparisons than inflation rearing its head again. Federal Reserve members, as you know what I think about them.
Such an idiot.
Yeah, they're not too smart, so they're going to probably start talking about raising rates again. The core rate is anticipated to come in at 0.2% in July, also not a bad reading. Remember, the Fed wants a 2.2% interest rate. So 0.2, if that was the same number all year long, that would be 2.4. Not bad. Helping the inflation reading, we used cars. I mentioned that in the last segment, which have been declining the past several months. Additionally, the shelter readings are coming in lighter, and they're replacing much higher numbers from last year. It will be a benefit. However, energy prices rose in July. Yeah, you felt that at the gas pump. The Fed's next meeting is in September, so they'll get to see another inflation reading after Thursdays. That's good. Black Knight home prices. Black Knight reported that home prices rose 0.7%. You listening, Diana Olek? I know that you don't get these things right very often. Chapman University, prices are going up on real estate. I know you just talk about median price, which is worthless. Additionally, as a result of the appreciation, average equity in homes has risen from $231,000 to $249,000. National number. Here in Southern California, our numbers are probably larger. Tappable equity, defined by retaining 20% equity in your home, increased from 185 to 199. Remember, if you need that equity, you got to be looking at those things. RSRNodebt.com. RSRNodebt.com. Understand what your blended household interest rate is, and then realize that if you need to get out of debt right now, if you want to get some of those debts off your books, we helped a family save $1,300 a month just recently by looking at this and going from a 3.5% interest rate to a 7% interest rate. Yeah, their interest rate doubles and they save a boatload of money. How does that work? Well, you got to understand the way the amortization tables work. You have to understand what the long-term benefits are. Remember, it's also part of the two-step process. RSR2step.com. RSR2step.com. When you do a cash-out refi, you're going to have a hit on the interest rate because of cash-out refi. When you do a rate and term refi, that saves you money. In recessions, historically, interest rates drop. So what do? You take care of getting the cash out now, get your household bills under control, and then you deal with the refi when interest rates go down later, and you've already dealt with that cash out hit now, so then you have a long-term benefit. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And let's chat. We got the coaches in the house. Travis Robinson, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. You're back in football season.
We are. We got our inter-squad scrimmage on Saturday, and we have our normal scrimmage this Friday, and then game one.
When is game one?
August. I don't know. next Friday. Not
A-
this.
A week from this Friday.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
It's already here.
It is. Yeah, it's busy.
And you're at Bosco?
St. John Bosco. Yeah.
St. John
Little
Bosco.
school in Bellflower.
What's that?
Little school in Bellflower.
Little school in Bellflower.
Yeah.
So, and that they've got a great reputation.
Absolutely.
So what are you doing for them? What are you doing with them?
Coach linebackers.
Linebackers.
I help with the linebackers up. Yeah.
So those are the guys that like to hit people,
Yeah.
and most of them have traumatic brain damage.
Absolutely not. They've switched tackling so much from when I played.
Really?
Yeah, the head's out of it completely. We don't use the head. Well, it's bang bang situations. You're going to get a head collision, but all of our tackling, it's rugby style, so the head is completely out of the tackling now.
Are they taking football out of football now?
They're just trying to protect the kids, and players, which is great. It's you got to adapt. Football changes every year, so you have to adapt and change with it.
I'm going to throw something at you that nobody talks about. So my dad played football, last century. And I had for a long time, in fact, my sister still has his helmet from when he played. And it was a helmet with no face mask, and it was a leather helmet. And my thesis is there's probably less injury with a leather helmet instead of these fancy ones now, because the fancy ones, they protect you so much. There's no sense of pain.
Right. Well, maybe a false sense of security.
That's it. False sense of security.
It does protect you. I mean, the equipment that they have nowadays is amazing.
It is.
But
I'm wondering, you have that leather helmet, do I want to hit him that hard? Because it's going to hurt me too.
Right. Well, I mean, like I said, we've gone to a rugby style tackling, and rugby has a ton of injuries. I don't know the numbers, but it's just much safer for the kids, all the way down from high school, all the way down to youth sports. When I started coaching, I think you had to do fingerprints, but now you have to there's a lot of certificates you have to get as far as, heads up tackling, heat stroke, concussion, CPR. So they really make they want their coaches trained, and that's at every high school. So,
really?
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's changed a lot.
Quite a bit.
So now it's not just they used to say that if you're smart, you're an offensive lineman, and if you weren't, you were a defensive lineman.
I guess. Yeah.
I don't know if that's still the case, but
No.
everyone's the plays. I think everything's a lot more sophisticated than it was.
Yes, absolutely. Our defense at Bosco is very complicated.
Is it really?
Oh yes, very very complicated.
So it's not just hit that guy.
No.
No.
Yeah. No, we expect a lot out of our players, and that's why we've got I think 5 of our linebackers, Notre Dame, Texas A&M.
Oh, we're not going to hold
Washington,
that against them.
They're all going to big colleges, and they go in and they start playing right away, because we just don't. We teach them. We expect we hold them to a higher standard. So,
something when my son played. Now this is a while ago now, also, but they didn't. You didn't realize that how much training it takes for the coaches, right? How much the coaches are going and learning. And when he was playing, they were learning things at his school that the public schools, the footwork and things like that. And he was a lineman. He was in the dirt all the time.
Right.
People our size don't. We're not the pretty boys.
Well, yeah.
So the bottom line is that you have to understand the footwork and the things that the big schools want, and schools like Bosco, you guys have to go and get trained on all that to make sure that you're putting out a product, being the player that the next level really wants. Isn't that kind of on there?
100%. Yeah. The coaching staff at Bosco is amazing.
And I'm and it's probably the same with all the other Trinity schools and some of the other ones around the state, isn't it?
100%. Oh yeah. We compete. Trinity League is the best, one of the best around. I mean, we compete against great coaching, great kids, great schools, a lot of tradition. So yeah, it's a great experience. This is my second year at Bosco. Very fortunate to be there. I've learned a lot from the coaching staff, guys that have been there for 15 years. So
what's going to happen modern day this year? Didn't their coach retire?
I believe so. I don't know. I don't keep much up with other schools or follow. I'm worried about my team, my guys.
Yeah, you got to watch the competition. Though.
I do a little bit. When it's Modern Day week, I'll worry about Modern Day.
Okay.
So then I've got a business to run. I've got a wife and kids of my own. So my bandwidth is very short.
It's tough. It's just a full-time job there.
Right. Yeah.
So what do you do? Let's talk about biz. I mean, we could sit here and talk about football all day.
Yeah, we could, but that's not making me much money. So
me either.
Health insurance. Yeah, employee benefits, group health insurance. We are saving business owners 10 to 20% per month on their health insurance.
Wow.
Quite a bit. Yeah.
That's huge.
I can almost guarantee that. If we're moving you off one carrier, we're maybe moving you over to HealthNet or to Anthem. We're saving you and your employees 10 to 20%.
Now, everybody tells me that insurance costs are going up like crazy, and you're talking about saving money.
Well, insurance rates go up because it's based off of your home zip code and your age. So
I'm
your
getting
age
older.
goes up, your rates are going to go up. But carriers, they get aggressive, they get competitive, so they want to move business. So right now we're moving a lot of business over to HealthNet and to Anthem, and we're saving people quite a bit of money. So
that's pretty nice.
Yeah,
because that goes right to the bottom line, and with all the other costs going up so much.
Right. If you got 20 or 30 employees, other than payroll, I would say health insurance is one of your biggest hits at the end of the day, right?
Sure.
So if we can save you that money gets pushed onto your employees, everyone's happy.
That's kind of the nice thing, especially when we're watching, and it seems like every time you turn on the news, the local news, somebody else is going on strike because of not getting paid enough.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can save that money on the insurance and like you say, pass it along,
right,
might help a little bit. Because the little company that you're talking about, and I don't mean it's little because everybody's own company is the biggest in the world, right?
Sure.
I mean,
yes,
you're talking about 20 employees. If you can save 15 or 20%, send part of that to your employees, put part of that into other parts of the business, you might be able to do a little bit more retention.
Win-win for sure. Yeah.
Perfect stuff. We're going to continue our conversation. I guess we can't talk football all day, but we're going to continue our conversation. Travis Robinson, Maxwell Agency. How might you even be? We might even talk a little bit about nonprofit. Not your company. We want to make your company money, but we might talk a little bit about nonprofit with Travis as well. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at RonSiegelRadio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, the real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. 4 ways you can use your home equity. If you're a homeowner, odds are your equity has grown significantly over the last few years. Equity builds over time as home values grow and as you pay down your home loan. And since home prices skyrocketed during the unicorn years, you've likely gained more than you think. According to the latest Equity Insights report from CoreLogic, The average homeowner has more than $274,000 in equity right now. That much equity can help you achieve certain goals. In a recent article, Bankrate elaborates, quote, while the pandemic created serious challenges, the silver lining for anyone who owned a home was the sizable equity gained. Understanding how home equity works and how to leverage it is important for any homeowner, unquote. Here are a few examples of how you can put your home equity to work for you. Number one, buy a home that fits your needs. If your current space no longer meets your needs, it might be time to think about moving to a bigger home. And if you've got too much space, downsizing to a smaller, right-sizing home could be just right. Either way, you can put your equity toward a down payment on a home that fits your changing lifestyle. A real estate agent can help you figure out how much equity you've got and how to use it when buying your next home. Number two, reinvest in your current home. Renovations are a great way if you want to change your living space, but you aren't ready to make a move. Home improvement projects give you the freedom to tailor your home to match your needs and personal style. But it's important to consider the long-term benefits certain upgrades can bring to your home's value. Lean on a real estate professional for the best advice on which improvement projects and prioritize in order to get the greatest return on your investment when you sell later. Number three, pursue personal ambitions. Home equity can also serve as a catalyst for realizing your lifelong dreams. That can mean investing in a new business venture, retirement, or funding an education. While you shouldn't use your equity for unnecessary spending, using it responsibly for something meaningful and impactful can really make a difference in your life. Number four, understanding your options to avoid foreclosure. Today, the number of foreclosure filings remains below the norm, so there's no need to fear a wave of foreclosed homes flooding the market. But unfortunately, there are still some homeowners experience the foreclosure process each year. If you're facing financial difficulties, having a clear understanding of your options and how your equity can help is crucial. Equity can act as a financial cushion that can be used in times of unexpected challenges or unforeseen circumstances that may disrupt your ability to make mortgage payments on time. In an article, Freddie Mac explains it this way, quote, if exiting your home is the best option for you, selling with equity may be a good option. When selling with equity, you are using the proceeds from selling your home at a higher price than the home amount you owe on your mortgage to pay off your remaining mortgage debt, unquote. Bottom line, your equity can be a game changer in reinvesting in your needs, pursuing your goals, and even helping you avoid foreclosure during difficult times. If you're unsure how much equity you have in your home, let's connect so you can start planning your next move. That's the Real-Time Real Estate segment brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Continue our conversation. Travis Robinson, Maxwell Agency, is with us, chatting about HR benefits and maybe more in the way of benefits. So good morning. Maybe we'll talk about business now.
Sure.
We talked football before.
Sure.
So how often should somebody really be changing or looking at their health insurance policies?
Well, most business owners or HR professionals, they look at their renewal when it comes up. So your insurance will renew once a year. Right now in Orange County, I think 78% of businesses will renew in the next 4 months. So right now is
now's prime time.
Yeah. So they'll get the renewal from whatever carrier they're with, Kaiser, HealthNet, Blue Shield, Anthem. They'll get the renewal and they'll say, hey, this is how much my rates are going up. But you can change your insurance any time of the year. It doesn't have to be on renewal. So
you can do it when it's most convenient for your business cycle.
Correct.
Okay.
Right. But right now is a busy time for us. We need to get in front of as many business owners as
so you need to be a basketball coach instead of a football coach.
Basketball, no.
Because this is you're in the busy time for your business and your busy time for football.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, we've got a great staff at Maxwell. They help me 100%. I mean, I couldn't do it without our staff.
So what other than dollars, because I talk about on when I'm talking about home and finance and things like that, that, the dollars are a piece of the puzzle,
right?
But maybe not the whole puzzle.
No. So there's, right now, like you mentioned earlier, it's hard to attract and retain talent. So we offer a total compensation statement, which shows the employee, hey, if I'm making $35 an hour and then my employer contributes 60% for employee for health insurance and maybe 40% for their employee, for their dependents. And then I also have dental, vision, long-term short care. So it shows the employee, not only am I being paid hourly, but also what does my employer do for me? So it's a total compensation statement. Then it shows them exactly, and we do those custom, no cost for all of our businesses, all of our clients.
Interesting. And then and I think you've told me in the past, there's some of you do the employee book and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So employee handbooks, those need to be reviewed and signed annually by your employees, because your employee handbook should be updated annually, right? COVID, we had a ton of new rules and regulations. Some of that's going away, but your employee handbook should be updated annually, and your employees need to review it and sign it. And what we do is we don't print out, huge booklets. Ours are digital. So it's very simple for your employees to scan through them, look through them, and then sign digitally. And then that signed copy is kept in our portal. We have a paperless system. So your applications, all of your applications, your employee handbooks. If you have 5 or more employees, you need to do sexual harassment training, which we provide for free, no cost. So all this
Tell
stuff,
them how to do it or how to avoid doing it.
Well, we do the training on it, right? So sexual harassment training, total compensation statements, employee handbooks.
Now, those all, like you say, that the sexual harassment training, is that California law or is that federal law?
That's above my pay grade. I believe it's California. I know
Okay.
California regulates it, but
Okay.
ACA, compliance, all of that, it needs to be done. And there's fines that hit your company that are no good. So I can.
So the bottom line is these things are items that if you don't know about it, you need to look into it, because I don't think that a lack of knowledge is going to be held up as a defense.
Yeah, it's not a very good defense. So once we bring a client on, we kind of have a checklist that we go through with our new clients and say, here's what needs to be done, and we'll help you through that. And then we make sure that all of our businesses are in compliance. And again, there's no cost. Total compensation statements, employee handbook annually. We don't charge for any of that. It's all an added value, or it's a bonus for working with Maxwell Agency.
Nice. Okay. So, and those things are something you'd have to pay for if you weren't doing it.
A lot of our competition, and I won't name names, but they charge for certain things. And if
is that something so there's the question that I would have for you. Is that a service you would expect from your healthcare provider, either for a fee or otherwise?
Well, a lot of brokers don't do it. They won't do it. They outsource it, or they send you to someone else.
Oh, okay.
Where for or they charge for it. So you get a lot of the larger firms. If you're a threshold, if you don't meet a certain criteria with them, like a certain threshold with them, they'll charge you for services. So
okay.
Whether if you have 2 employees, or I think our largest client right now has 1,000 employees, we treat everyone the same. So you're going to get the same service if you have 2 employees or 1,000.
Nice.
Which is maybe a good business model, maybe not, but we like to just, what we do for one client, we want to do for the other client.
Well, I would submit it's probably easier for you too, right? I mean, because you're having to say, okay, well, we give this away if you're 25 and you just went to 26 and we didn't catch it, or
we don't.
It just makes too much work.
Yeah, we just want to work
Simple.
with business owners in Orange County. Our niche, I would say, is 20 to 70 employees. Under 100 is where we really do well. Under 100 employees. But if you've got 15 employees and you have a towing shop, I'd love to work with you. So
you're not dealing with the CPA, the CPA firm that's got 4 or 5 people.
We do, yeah. I mean, but our niche, I would say,
okay, gotcha.
Our niche is a little bit bigger. But yeah, a lot. I mean, I'm signing up 3 groups this week, and they're all under 10 employees.
Oh, okay.
So those are great accounts for us too. But
interesting. Okay, so now you were saying that you're helping do some fundraising too.
Well, yeah. So with my experience, I've coached high school football for 20 something years. So, and then
I really threw you a curveball when I said go basketball.
Yeah, I was like, huh? Yeah. But then now I have a son who's in high school, and he plays baseball at Brea Olinda, and so I've seen both ends of the spectrum when it comes to high school sports. Fundraising as a coach, and then now what it costs as a parent. So what we're doing, and
it's expensive.
It's expensive. With Bosco, I'm working with Bosco doing the same program. But we fly to Florida, and then we fly to Hawaii. So, Coach Negro has to fundraise for all that. I mean, we all do. So, but yeah, so we work with nonprofits, and it doesn't have to be a sports program. You know, we work with all sorts of nonprofits, but we work with them, and we have created this program where we can generate reoccurring monthly revenue that my company gives back to these nonprofits.
So you're helping the community.
Yeah, well, we're trying. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so, you know, to me, I look at that as being a good corporate citizen, right? Not everybody does it, and a lot of people don't know how to do it, but, you know, we all benefit. You guys benefit. I benefit. A radio program benefits from being out there in the community.
Right.
And, you know, if you've got some level of success and some ability, you know, give back.
Yeah.
Right. And that's kind of what you're doing there.
That's our goal. I mean, if we can help out a local high school sports program, give them money. I mean, I think the checks that we're writing now, and this isn't just the sports programs, it's any 501c3, but I think we're writing checks monthly. I think it's 500. I think the largest we write per month now is about $2,000 per month. We're writing
per month.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
That's some serious money.
Yeah, it can be, you know, and it's, you know, and I mean, I deal in the sports world. So if you're trying to fundraise to get new pads, to try, you know, your baseball program, you need to travel. So if I can donate that money back, Maxwell Agency can donate this money back to a 501c3. It's just helping these programs.
Some of these programs are pretty expensive too. I mean, there's a lot of money to it. Now, do the public schools have nonprofit arms like that as well?
So my understanding is, you know, every different, you know, if you're the football program at a local high school, you should have a nonprofit set up along with the baseball program. So I like to work with the individual programs. I want to work with the football coach, the baseball coach. I just don't want to write a check to a high school and have it go to just go
to the administration where they take a 30% tax.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I would prefer to directly talk to the baseball coach, the football coach, the tennis coach, whoever wants money, and whoever has a 501c3 set up, we can donate to your program. So I just want to talk to those people.
It's a great way. It's like, you know, and, you know, Travis is doing this through the HR world. How many of you have your own businesses that you could do the same type of thing where you can help people? You know, it's again, being that corporate citizen to be out there trying to teach folks. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, more with Travis Robinson, Maxwell Agency. And being that I talk so much, we'll probably have to hold off what are points till tomorrow. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Hey friends, do you dream of mortgage-free home ownership? Are you aware that even if you own your home free and clear, it could still be costing you thousands per year? The Siegel Lending Team can help you generate tax-free income, accumulate family wealth, and maintain ownership of your home. By simply emailing your most recent mortgage statement, you'll receive a no-obligation real estate plan. Learn more by calling 1-800-306-1990 or email me your recent mortgage statement to PEAR@ronsiegelradio.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you tired of paying rent? Are you tired of paying someone else's mortgage? Do you know qualified folks can potentially purchase a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket? Ron Siegel can help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. If you're tired of paying someone else's mortgage, reach out to Ron today at ronismylender.com. That's ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Borrow Smart segment today being brought to you by rsrstudentloanhelp.com, rsrstudentloanhelp.com. Hey, just remember, discount points. I'm not going to get into the whole story today. We'll do it tomorrow. But discount points are not always bad, but they are always something you need to ask about and you need to understand when it comes to the famous mortgage question, what's my rate? Well, what's my rate is not always the same thing, and you need to know more about it than that. That's the Borrow Smart segment brought to you by rsrstudentloanhelp.com, rsrstudentloanhelp.com. Continue our conversation this morning. Travis Robinson is with us. Maxwell Agency is the company. They're the healthcare benefits provider. And if you're running a business, if you're thinking about trying to retain people, retain talent, and you should be, unless you like doing training and wasting money. You want to talk to Travis and his team. I'm in the middle of reading a great book that's all about that. It's a Buy Back Your Time, I think is the name of the book.
Buy Back Your Time.
Buy Back Your Time.
Yeah.
And they talk about, how one of the chapter I was just listening to was about, about retention and hiring right in the first place. And I would think that that healthcare is probably one of the biggest questions that the employees are asking.
Right.
Is what kind of healthcare benefits are there, or are there any?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, health insurance, there's a lot of different questions and then
does it matter if I go, this year with Anthem and next year with Blue Cross and the year after that with United Health? Does it matter if I'm jumping around all the time?
No, absolutely not. You do a year contract with them, but it's kind of a one-ended contract, right? So it's the contract's on their end. You can leave them anytime you want. So if you get upset with your carrier, you can leave. It's just a
lot more work.
It's a lot of work, but my staff does all that. We'll come in, we'll do face-to-face. We'll sit down with your employees one-on-one because the HIPAA regulations, right? You don't want to know too much about your employees' health, personal life. So we sit down with the employees, we talk to them. We do paperless enrollments. A lot of carriers, like if you have, let's say Health Net for your health insurance, and if say we run you over to another carrier with, like, say, Colonial or Humana for your dental and vision, well, that's 2 paper apps or at least 3 paper apps. It's going to take that employee, 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes per app. With our system, it's all done. We import all that information over, name, address, date of birth. So all they're really going through then is reviewing it and saying, oh yeah, my date of birth is correct. My home zip code.
I've always found that to be a pain in the neck.
Well, and we do it
right?
for
because,
you. So so the employer doesn't do it. We'll do it for them.
Yeah, and because I am a computer nerd, or used to be more of it, I still understand what the computers can do. I just don't know how to do it now. Josh does all of it. Right. So I would look at it and say, I just gave you this stuff last year. My birthday has not changed. Right. Why do I need to give it to you again this year? And it sounds like you guys have solved that.
We've solved it, and there's a lot of, you're someone's handwriting. You don't know if it's a 1 or a 7. So, and we will input it for them. So we're not asking your employees to sit down and type. Our enrollers will sit down with them. And if we've already exported that information over from your payroll, because our systems and a lot of payrolls communicate. So we just export that information. It's already there. All they're doing is reviewing it, and then they can do it on their phone if they're not sitting with one of our enrollers. And then we'll walk them through it. They'll pick their plan. They'll do a digital signature. We hit submit. We can get a case submit, approved in 2 days, where if you're doing paper applications, it's going to take 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
So why is just because one is being apparently done by a machine as opposed to a human after looking at a paper?
Right. So if we have to submit, 30 applications to Anthem, and then same 30 applications to Colonial, and then 30 applications to Humana, there's just going to be a lot more, again, is that an R? Is that a 1? Is that a 2? So you're looking at, there's a lot. It's called a pending item, and it's just like they have all these questions. It's like, what is this? What is that? If we're doing paperless, there's really you can't go on to the next section until everything's inputted. Yeah.
Is there a lot of difference between what one carrier is going to cover versus another?
Not really. They're all very competitive.
So it's a matter of who's trying to increase their market share in a given area at a given time.
Right.
Is where you're going to save the money from. It's not because, company A is covering your bariatric surgery and company B is not covering.
Correct.
it.
Right. No, we have, the insurance will be covered. It just depends on which carrier has the most competitive rates in a certain, in Orange County. Right now, there's a lot of people, a lot of businesses, like I said, are going to renew in the next couple of months. So right now, people are really looking at it and talking about it, and that's why I'm on your show, to get in front of these people. I need to talk to some business owners.
Now, when you're talking about that, when you say Orange County, is it the business that's in Orange County or the employees that live in Orange County?
Businesses.
Okay.
Right.
So if I've got an Orange County business and a lot of my team works in Riverside or San Bernardino, that's fine.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We have a lot of businesses that are home or in California, but they have employees that are in Texas, Vegas.
So you can do that too.
Absolutely. Yeah. We have a lot of businesses with employees that are, with COVID, your business model changed a little bit, right? So you'll have employees that can work virtually. They don't need to be at your office. If they live in another state, we can absolutely cover them.
Now, is that person going to get a inferior benefit, being that it's a different state?
Well, California is huge HMO, right? So if you're not living in California, then you would need to be on a PPO plan. But it's the same type of benefits.
Can my company have both, a PPO and HMO both?
Yes.
Okay, so my company can do both ways.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, because what is it? Kaiser, I think I read lately, has 20% market share in the state. I mean, that's a massive,
huge HMO, right?
Yeah.
So, but I don't know for sure, but I believe Kaiser's working on a contract where you can still have Kaiser and still not live in California.
Wow.
So if you have employees outside, so they're working on a deal. I don't know all the details, above my pay grade again, but and then Kaiser also writes alongside of Blue Shield, Anthem. So if you can have employees that are on Anthem, HealthNet, and then also Kaiser will write alongside those. So if you have Kaiser now and you're looking to maybe bring in a high value PPO, we can do that.
Now, 100 years ago, when I had a different company, I used to be able to say, okay, I'm going to give each of my employees X number of dollars, and they can use it for an HMO, a PPO, or however they want, or they're go with a PPO just for them, or an HMO for them and their family. They can use those dollars however they want to.
Employer contribution is what does your employer contribute towards your benefits, right?
Can that still be done?
Oh yeah. You have to do it.
Oh, you have to do it that way.
You have to contribute to the employee. You don't have to do anything to the dependents. But if you're looking to attract and retain talent, we recommend that you do both.
Go both ways. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
What else are some of the other things that I should be looking for when I'm comparing?
Price.
Right
now, price. Because we can match apples to apples. I can put you on a plan that if you're with, company A, I can move you to company B or C, and I can match or beat your benefits and also beat the price. So they do a very good job. If you're with Anthem or Blue Shield, their plans are very comparable. We can match apples to apples, and we can make sure that you see whatever doctor that you're currently seeing. We make sure that you can see that current doctor. So there's not a lot of harm and foul in moving.
So the only thing I really have to worry about is then just bringing the new card into to my existing doctor,
right?
Or my existing pharmacy or whatever.
Correct.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, and then do I have to call you if I'm already a Maxwell Agency client? Do I have to call you every 6 months or year or say, hey, are we doing a checkup again? Or are we?
No. So we try to get, if you're renewing in the next few months, my team's already been in contact with you. They've emailed you, they've called you and said, hey, this is what you're renewing at. Do you want to shop it? Yes. Okay. Then we're going to shop it for you. We're going to take it out to market. We're going to look and see if we can get you on a better plan at a lower rate.
Why would I say no?
Well, some people, they're just, if they don't have a lot of employees, or if they didn't get a big, hit, most people will move with about a 10% rate increase.
Okay.
So if you're not getting a 10% rate increase, which is rare, but it can.
So that's the reason is it's just a convenience issue.
Convenience, 100%. Yeah. If you're happy with, the way things are, and you don't want to take it to market and don't shop it, but we'll reach out to once we get companies' renewal packets, and your broker will get them before you. So if your broker's not reaching out to you,
call Travis.
Well, I mean, think about it. If you're getting a 20%, increase, your broker's getting a 20% raise. So a lot of these brokers are just sitting on cases, not looking at them, not reviewing them, where we do our due diligence, we communicate, we talk, we like to educate our groups, our clients, and say, hey, and we'll tell them right now, if you're with this company and this company, if let's take a look at Anthem or HealthNet, we're saving most people around 10 or 15%. So
It's a lot of money.
yeah, so why not shop it and why not move it? Some people are like, no, if they don't have a big account, it's not hitting their bottom line hard, then they'll say, we've only got 20 employees, we're not going to move it this year. Let's take a look at it next year. Then that's up to you, right? But we will absolutely reach out, schedule times. I come out and we'll take the owner out to lunch, discuss options, look at what's the best thing to do for the company.
Great information. If you want to talk to Travis Robinson and Maxwell Agency, give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. I am happy to put you in touch with him. And as always, I ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.